Introducing the ECOFLOW River 2. This new power station comes in at $299 and now utilizes lithium iron phosphate batteries, which means it has 3,000 life cycles before it reaches 80% capacity, which could take up to 10 years, and comes in at under 8 pounds. This is everything that'll come with it: an owner's manual, a DC charging cable, and an AC charging cable. By utilizing the DC charging cable in a vehicle, it can charge at 100 watts and take about 3 hours to charge. You can also utilize the USB-C port, as this is able to charge and discharge items by utilizing a USB-C high-speed cable, and this could charge up to 60 watts, taking about 5 hours. But one of the best ways to charge it is by utilizing the sun. These new ECOFLOW 100-watt solar panels have 10 bus bars and are half-cut cells, making it more efficient than other solar panels, which under good conditions, it should take about 3 hours to fully charge this power station. Using the River 2 is easy by simply just pressing the on button. This will activate the device, and then you can choose like a 12-volt socket to power devices by simply turning on its DC button, or utilizing USB-A or USB-C type connectors, which this will be able to provide 60 watts of power. And you also have your AC side, which this has its own off button as well, and this will be able to provide 300 watts of power. On the back of the unit, you'll see your AC charging port, the cooling fan, and then also the DC charging port. Plus, you also have all your specifications on the back, which honestly is pretty hard to see. The River 2 can charge from 0 to 100% in only 1 hour utilizing AC, so I decided to do a test and break out a timer. I put it for an hour and 10 minutes and then plugged it in to see how long it would actually take, and so these were the results at the end of this test. In just over 60 minutes. Wow, that's actually pretty fast. So I was surprised that it was actually make spec, which is totally cool. So we're going to go ahead and try another test, because it's not only about power, but what kind of power it puts out. One thing with ECOFLOW is that they use the best inverters. Their inverters put out a high voltage, which if you flip the camera around, we see 121.5 volts. And a standard house can range anywhere from 115 over 120 volts. But when looking at this Ace Volt, when you're looking at inverters, this is what I mean by quality as far as ECOFLOW is concerned. As we take a look at the Ace Volt unit, I'm going to show you the exact same test that I just did with the ECOFLOW. We'll pop off this panel real quick, and now we'll use the watt meter again to show you the difference. As I plug this in, now take a look at the numbers. This is only coming out to just almost 112 volts, which starts on the low side, so as soon as you put a load on it, who knows how far it could drop from there. So now we'll do a capacity test just to see how much power we can actually draw out of this. So we're going to do a 50 watt discharge test, because 50 watts is pretty common for a lot of the household products that we use. Kind of like this new air evaporative cooler with the pump on and the oscillating fan. This is going to draw between 40 and about 50 watts. Along with this 50-inch TV that's inside of my RV, this also draws just a little bit of over 40 watts. And if you're charging laptops and more, a lot of these will come out to about 40 and 50 watts as well. So this will be a good test to see how long it'll run them and how many watt hours we actually get out of this particular unit. Now with this plugged into that 12-volt socket, as you can see, we're getting 12.6 volts. And the DC output, according to the manual, is also 12.6 volts, so we're getting exactly what it's supposed to get, so that's a good sign so far. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start this discharge test, and then we'll compare the numbers real quick. As we take a look at the ECOFLOW power station, on the display it's saying about 50 watts, and then the runtime is about 4 hours. Now as we come over here and compare the numbers real quick, now we're at about 11.6 volts, 4.2 amps, drawing 50 watts, and then you can see the amount of energy. So far we've got 0.3 watt hours, so we'll see how many we get at the end of the test and also how long this runs. And just like that, the test is over. So now we'll take a look at the numbers and see how much we were able to draw out of this little power station. So as you can see, that's 217.7 watt hours at about 4 hours and 21 minutes. Now, test results can vary a little bit depending on the type of wattage draw, but for the most part, these do have to power themselves up and the inverter, so you lose a little bit of the stated watt hours from there. But most of the ECOFLOW products are about 85 to 90% efficient, and they make a world of different products, from smart generators to the ECOFLOW Delta Pro, extra batteries, and more. So let me know what you think about the new River 2 and check out one of these other ECOFLOW products.